Namaste, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Cross Watchers, interested parties in Virgos. This is your bi-weekly reading for the period of April 1st, which is today, through the 15th of the month. I will try to not make your reading about coronavirus, and more so about your maybe perhaps more directly impacted lives, although some of us may be, unfortunately, directly impacted by the virus, other than the fact that we're shut in. So, things may come up, and if they do, we're going to discuss them. And I'd also like to first share something with you guys that is a coronavirus-like prophecy that basically says that it's temporary, shows us that this is a temporary situation and everything's going to be okay. Some of you may know that I primarily read for what I call divine beings. These are ascended beings, twin flames, many names for them. People that consider themselves, especially spiritual, conscious, awakened, all of these things. That's primarily for whom I read. And I've been doing so the whole time that I've been on. You can't really tell on my channel anymore because of bullshit with YouTube. It looks like I primarily do astrological readings because those are the ones that have thousands of views, whereas the ones that I do directly for what we call the collective of the Illumined and the other elect, I'm down to, a couple hundred lately. Or not just lately, as of probably like last year. I started dealing, I see a lot of more people dealing with it now, but I probably started dealing with these kind of issues about 2 years ago with YouTube. Like when they first, maybe longer, like when they first switched from Google ownership, it just went like left. In any case, I just want to share this and then we'll get into your reading. And this is a piece of scripture from the book of Isaiah 26:20 through 21. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpast. For behold, the Lord cometh out of this place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. And basically, and particularly in newer versions of the Bible, I think it's just pretty clear that it is saying, get inside, lock your doors, stay inside, but it is only temporary, right? Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, not forever. This is not going to be forever. We're going to get through this. We're going to get out of it. Again, that's Isaiah 26:20 through 21. If you want to read it, actually, there's Isaiah 26. Like the whole book is prophetic, and you may want to read the whole story. And perhaps again in your Bible, it may be a little bit more straightforward. This is from the original King James version, not the original Bible, the original King James version. I just want to be clear about that. All right. Let's get into your reading. So you guys have an overall energy of the Five of Wands from my Rider-Waite Tarot this month, or this period. It's a bi-weekly reading, not a monthly reading. And the Five of Wands is often about competition. For me, like a lot of people consider it just a negative card that's about conflict and they hate it. I'm not the biggest fan, but I do pick up positivity from it sometimes, and I see it more as representative of the planet Mars, which is the planet of action and aggression. And this is sort of like by any means necessary, doing what you need to do to achieve your goals. With the exception of like trying to be slick and cheat your way into doing it, because when this card shows up, like the universe particularly frowns upon like trying to get over. But if you're willing to compete, fight, do your best, put your best foot forward, that's what this card can be about. Also, like in defending yourself, protecting yourself, people trying to take what is rightfully yours, steal your shine, for example, at work, take credit for your work, and not clarify that you're the one who actually did the project or whatever. It could be things like that. similar to the Five of Swords in that they both can be about conflict. But for me, the Five of Swords can be about conflict with anybody. It can be like, yo, you stepped on my foot, what's up? Or, with anybody, a stranger. The Five of Wands, if it's not about internal conflict, like one being conflicted, then for me it tends to be about, again, something going on at work, conflict at work and or competition at work, or with close friends and or family. And that includes like spouses or even exes, the other parent of your children or child or whatever it is. So it can be all of those things too. Don't be afraid to compete though, right? You have, something to offer. You can be successful. You have to try your best and you can achieve the results. It's very much about like believing yourself, that you're like stronger than you realize, and that, being confident, holding your head up high, and going for yours, going for what's, yours, or what should be yours, like what you've worked for, and not letting somebody else get over on you and take it. Also, it's largely about faith too. And knowing that you're going to end up where you belong. Ultimately, like what's for you will be yours. Ultimately, if you continue to believe that and to think positive, that's part of the manifestation, the law of attraction, and making it happen for yourself in your life. In terms of work, definitely can be about competition, and maybe you're up for a position. Maybe you're up for the opportunity to work from home. Maybe you're up for, a bonus, extra hours, a raise, hazard pay, in consideration of some of the stuff that's going on today. Maybe you were supposed to start a job, but something got held up, and now it's like between you and other people. Like they got to see who they're going to hire, or jobs are trying to see who they're going to let go of and who they're not. And so all of that comes into play when this card arrives for you as an overall sort of energy. Also, in love, with the Five of Wands, person you're interested in, if anybody, or maybe even to whom you're connected in a committed relationship, is very possibly being pursued by, several other people. And if they are single and you are single, certainly give it your best shot. If somebody's trying to take your mate, well, if they're able to actually take your mate, the saying goes that it probably wasn't really your mate to begin with. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, speak up, defend yourself, again, either directly to your mate or with the other person, or both, or however you want to handle that. Also, alternatively, you could be the one who's being pursued by many, many people when this card shows up. Money may be tight, or maybe it's been tight, and we'll see with the cards if it's going to get progressively better over the next couple of weeks for you. I hope that it will. For the other signs so far, that has been the case. Things, looking all right in the finance area too. And, you might not be able to pay all your bills today, but the idea is that, don't get in a headset and a mindset that tells you that you won't be able to, that causes you to start thinking negatively, and then have the potential to manifest negativity into your own life. And, whatever you're focused on, like the way the law of attraction works, we have the ability to attract good things, and we have the ability to attract bad things, things we don't want, depending upon on what we're focused. Our minds are that powerful. So that's what you got to be careful of when this card shows up. Also, seeing, which is pretty interesting, also upright right behind it is the Four of Cups. And the reason it's pretty interesting is because with the other deck, we're also beginning with the Four of Cups, or what's called the Four of Summer here. So the Four of Cups is a card that reminds us to be in the present. It warns against like wishful thinking and having our head in the clouds, and directs us more so to paying attention to like what is and what is going on now, what is the present, the many blessings that we have that surround us. Because you can get really caught up in like an, oh, woe is me kind of mindset or headset with this card, and that causes you to miss opportunity. It can also be about like disappointment, and or like lack of faith, again, perhaps in yourself, perhaps in the universe. And because of that, you miss opportunities because you got this like mindset like, oh, well, nothing good ever happens to me. Oh, woe is me, because we're too concerned with what could be in our, human 3D minds, And we're not really thinking about the possibilities when it comes to the universe or God, or however you believe in that, larger source than than yourself. So definitely it's important, to count your blessings. This is a reminder of that. And don't spend, time wallowing in like self-pity and, wishing your life away and all that kind of stuff. Because again, words have meaning and thoughts have meaning. Ideas have meaning. These things, these words that we're focused on, can translate into actual things, my friend Sabrina, God rest her soul, she passed away last year, cancer, 9/11 related cancer. Anyway, she used to even like always catch me and stop me, like, it's often younger people too that say things like, oh my God, like I'm gonna die, and we don't mean it like literally. And she'd be like, don't like say that, like don't put words like that into the air, even though that wasn't how I meant it. She was just like, the universe takes words and attack energies attached to those words. And she was right. This is years ago, where I've been psychic all my life, and so I've been seeing numbers for years, multiple numbers. Like everybody's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like I was talking about, 333 and all this kind of, but back in like 2007. So I was always, spiritual in that sense and conscious in that sense and awakened in that sense. But that didn't mean, you never learn everything. You never know everything. So she had this other thing to offer me, to teach me that I didn't know. And so that's what I'm hoping to get across to you guys now and to spread that, especially since you have, again, the same card twice over. In the Animal Tarot, which this is, it says your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. So don't just like coyishly brush something aside that could be, something good for you, under the like automatic presumption that, good things tend not to happen to you, or it's not what you want. It's not what you were wishing for or hoping for, or because you're like envious of what somebody else has going on and you're like coveting somebody else's life or something. These opportunities may be connected to partnership. You have the Two of Spring or Two of Wands, which is for those people, beings that I said I primarily read for, sacred unions, divine beings who end up in sacred unions, twin flame relationships. The Two of Wands is the soulmate or twin flame card of the tarot, divine union card of the tarot. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors, or to expand the number of people who are helping you. Now, alternatively, what this can mean, first of all, this is a general reading, so it's not a love reading, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything about twin flames or soulmates. Second of all, to that point, not all soulmates are romantic soulmates. There could be other kinds. Sometimes we're meant for a spiritual partnership in business. We're meant to go into business together, and it's something that's healing. It's something that's supportive of humanity, or that teaches something. So it can be that. It could be a partnership or business that doesn't involve necessarily our spirituality, but also twos mean faith. Right? That's another meaning for them. They don't only mean partnership. And I was just talking about the thoughts and the ideas. Those are represented by the number 1. And then when the number 2 shows up, it's like those thoughts and ideas that were positive, that we are trying to manifest. This is the reminder to maintain your faith that those things will come to pass. And in the multiple 3s that I started seeing back in like 2007, the 3 means, yes, now they are becoming more tangible. They are like taking form. I can see it's really happening. I'm not all the way there yet, but I can see it's really happening. And then when there's a 4, now you are on like 4 legs, you're in a more stable position and foundation. So this 2 is very important. Also right behind that, also upright, is the Prince of Winter. So the Knight of Swords. He is decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. Knight of Swords shows up for me. It means that you have a decision to make, and or you are awaiting a decision from someone else. In either case, when you get information is when you're going to take off, take action. Knights are about action. Pages are about news, the way that I read them. I'll just mention, since it's Major Arcana, although it is upside down, the next card is Major Arcana card Strength, which is another 2, by the way. It's Major Arcana card number 11, which translates to a 2 in numerology. And so it too can be about partnership. It's like a 2 of Wands also, because it represents the energy of fire, right? Or spring, the element of fire, the element of Wands. And so this can be in your partnerships, but when strength is in reverse, which is how it was just now, it means you're not using your full potential. So that takes me back to your overall energy in this deck. I think I put those out of order. This, then this, then this. Your overall energy in this deck, which is again the 5 of Wands, that says, do your best, hold your head up, move forward, kick ass. All right. So that's the first of your messages, Virgo. Now we're going to do a 4-card spread of this, and hopefully I'll also have time to do another spread with that deck. And let's put your overall energy up here. Let me turn these over, because this is from where I'm going to get the next of the cards. All right, so the card that most directly represents you, Virgo, over the next 2 weeks through the 15th is the 8 of Swords in reverse. All right, this is pretty positive because it means that you're about to take the action, and then maybe some sort of delay. That could be what, reversals mean sometimes too. So there may be some delay in your taking action that's beyond your control, like what's going on around the world, perhaps. 8 is a number that represents karma. So like karmic energy, we have no control over. We only really ever have control over our actions and our reactions to things, particularly to karmic energy, right? Because this is like stuff that just happens and there's nothing that you can do about it. But you can, what you can manage is how you react and how you respond, and what behavior you had maybe to even help to cause something. You're in or not. You're in control of that. These other things like the minor arcana and 5 of Wands, like we don't have to participate in conflict. We can choose to walk away, but we can't stop something that's coming from the universe from happening. We just don't have that within our power. We have the free will to decide what we're going to do about the fact that something is happening. And so this can definitely mean that you're ready to take some sort of action, important steps in your life. You've thought about things and made a plan. Maybe that would be very like you, right? As an earth sign, as a Virgo, very methodical and practical and laying down a plan before you just go off all willy-nilly and everything. And so it's like you're almost ready to move beyond like your fears and whatever else has caused you to be inhibited, and to just do what you have to do. If you need like some sort of help or whatever, like support, definitely seek that, but also this is again about trusting yourself. So again, being confident in you, having faith in you, having faith in the universe also, and holding up you're holding your head up high and going about, your business, right? Handling your business. Very 5 of Wands too. So with the 5 of Wands sitting here right atop it, think of it that way. These 2 cards combined, giving you that much of a stronger message. In terms of your work and everything, you may be wanting to make a change in that area, actually. And this card says that that's possible for you right now, despite maybe what's going on around you or in the world at large. But patience, again, because maybe there's delay, and like very intentional, deliberate moves forward are going to be necessary, right? You can't count on something necessarily changing overnight. You're going to have to put your effort in, and you're going to have to maybe be patient with the outcome. But that too is very Virgo, very earth sign, very Knight of Pentacles, right? Slow and steady wins the race. Methodical. I got a plan. I'm going to, live it out. There could be chance meetings that you might have that will help you in your career, some sort of opportunity that may come up. So that may be why you got these 2 fours of, I gotta turn these over for a second. Oh goodness, I'm making a mess and I'm turning the cards in the wrong direction too. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Your 4 of Cups was upright, right? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, my point was about why you may have 2 fours of cups showing up to say, like, be careful. There's opportunities around you, and be careful that you don't miss them. So this is, again, a compounded message. They've doubled down on this message for you. Someone around you right now could be helpful in facilitating, a job or work opportunity for you. Maybe a change in career, like maybe your job was deemed not essential. And so you're out of work, and maybe your company, maybe you work for somebody that didn't pay you or whatever. And so you need something new. And there's people around you, there's situations around you that, would avail you that opportunity, maybe even to start your own business or something, who knows. So just be, open to be aware about chance meetings, open to the possibility of allowing somebody to help you to grow. And you may come against, especially with the 5 of Wands here, you may come against like some pushback with people that maybe friends, family. They may not understand or even support your needs, desires, wishes, however you want to look at it, to change your life. But it's very important that you do what's best for you in this situation. In terms of love, there could be like petty arguments in existing relationships. So if you're already coupled or whatever, that's what these cards can mean. The 8 of Swords sort of means that on its own. And it's like, again, it's a double down message with the 5 of Wands, which is can be about conflict, sitting here right atop it. So be careful of that and try to get to the root. If you can, maybe you got time, right? You got nothing but time on your hands because you're stuck in the house, perhaps. Use that time maybe to try to get to the root of whatever this argument or disagreement or competition is between you and your partner or prospective partners, and, see where that takes you. If you're able to resolve this situation, or maybe, time to part ways. And that may be why you're contemplating a move. Maybe you're contemplating a move away from an existing relationship. If you're single and perhaps even feeling like sort of lonely, these cards, this card on its own and these cards together, can indicate that you first need to maybe do some work on yourself. And that too might be connected to the fact that you got these 2 fours of cups. Like, what do you need to do for yourself? Pick up your confidence, pick up your esteem first, in yourself. And again, your faith first in yourself. And again, in the universe or in God, that things can be different, that things can happen for you. Good things can happen to you too, not just other people. It's important to remember that like somebody else, like a mate, can't make you whole, and the fact that you might be feeling less than whole or even, empty or lacking or whatever, you give off like an aura that can actually push prospective partners or existing partners away. Like they don't want to, hear that or deal with that. You're bringing other people down, and depression and anxiety can be contagious, unfortunately. So, as I say, hurt people. So we got to be careful of that also. The energy surrounding you, so it can be more of your own energy or that of like close friends and their family, or again, maybe even at work, co-workers and stuff like that. The Ace of Swords in reverse. So this too can be about something perhaps delayed, like delayed success. The Ace of Swords is like about victory, or can be about victory. So there may be like delayed victory. You are winning, you are going to win, but again, that slow and steady progress may be required. It's not going to happen overnight. That's one thing. It's, it's generally a positive card in general. And it can also say, though, that we have to be careful about our thinking, which points again to the 2 fours of cups that you got. It can mean that you might feel something is positive, for example, when it actually isn't, or perhaps vice versa. You're thinking negatively, that something's not going to be good, and there's an opportunity there waiting for you. It just basically says, like, watch out for like illusions, like false, veils of information and thoughts that are not really the situation. It also, again, can be, as a warning. It says, like, it can be easy to trust people who aren't actually trustworthy, or again, vice versa. Stay away from anything like, again, get rich quick schemes and trying to be slick and all that kind of stuff. This card definitely speaks against that. And in terms of work, particularly with this Five of Wands crossing it, it can mean that there is some sort of like major misunderstanding or disagreement at work or about work, or something going on there. And it's important for you to not make any like sudden moves, because, again, you could be misinformed, or they could like an illusion versus what's really happening, what's really going on, your reality. So be careful. If you're looking for work, try to think from like the perspective of the person who would be hiring you, especially if you're trying to change careers. Like, how can you show that you are qualified, prepared, committed to this new job that is not something that you had been doing, previously. In terms of love, it can mean that you might fall for somebody pretty hard that is considered inappropriate for you, for lack of a better word. So maybe like the wild sort of, it's like, can be about like taking a walk on the wild side. So something that's out of your norm, out of maybe even societal norms, or it could just be like a stark difference, like maybe a large age difference, or racial or cultural difference, or something that it's, or maybe if money, that's a biggest thing right now. Maybe like one person grew up one way and the other person grew up another way. And so it's like, how can we come together? Like that Billy Joel song, Uptown Girl, something like that. And, opposites attract. So that's not crazy for that to happen. The thing to be careful of, though, is if somebody tells you, regardless of how wonderful it feels and it looks, and, don't be careful again of the illusion, and don't tell yourself, okay, we go together now. You know what I mean? If you don't, like, allow yourself and the other person to be clear and upfront about what the real deal is. And if somebody tells you, they're not looking for a commitment, they're not interested in an actual relationship, they're not good at relationships, all of these things, like, believe them, believe them. Work and finance. You got a lot of reversals. I think a lot of stuff, again, is delayed, but this is also positive. Like, people get afraid of reversals. The Five of Cups is also a positive card, because it can definitely point to new prospects for you and new projects for you. Not to be rhyming and stuff like that. New opportunities and things coming into your life. It's about you being hopeful, and again, reaching out to others if you need help, if you need support, and whatever kind of need that is. If there's somebody around you that can be met, have faith in yourself, though. So it's all these cards so far about you also having faith in yourself and confidence in yourself, that, and in the universe and God, that your needs will be met, and that you are instrumental in, making that so. In great part, maybe even because of, through your mind, through your thoughts, through your ideas. This card can also say that you may have, like, recently been going through a difficult time. So some, maybe at the time of this reading, like today when I post it, you'll say, yeah, I'm still going through a difficult time, as of right now. But the good news about this card showing up, help, you hear all the sirens, help is on the way. Help is on the way. Your recovery is moving along well. Yeah, that's the universe giving us like an extra confirmation. Anytime like something happens, like, things that go on during a reading, it has meaning in the reading. In any case, so yeah, help is on the way, recovery is on the way. So think positively, and it's a good time for you to just be more focused on like what's right for you. Again, maybe despite societal norms or what friends or family or other people may think. Love, you are beginning to realize that you deserve and can actually have, like meaningful relationships, happy relationships, relationships that are not toxic, that are not codependent, that don't try to hold you back or restrict you or change you as a person, that you don't have to take abuse and you don't have to like dumb yourself down or try to make yourself, seem more, maybe analytical or whatever than you are. You can be you, whatever that means, and who you are. I was watching that show, The Good Doctor, last night. Comes on Mondays, I think. I was watching it last night or whatever, DVR. And I think it was their season finale also. Anyway, the guy, the doctor, the autistic doctor, the whole time the show's been on, he's had like a BFF relationship / crush on this female friend of his, and she had been like not like once he's realized that he actually had a thing for her and told her he wanted to be with her, and she was like, nah, you're autistic. And well, I don't want to be a, like, spoiler alert for those who actually watch the show, but ultimately she realized that the fact that he was autistic didn't even matter. And so something like that can be like the stark difference. We're not the same kind of people. You have a learning difference. I don't, or vice versa. And people have to accept you for that. Like ultimately, again, she realized that it didn't matter, and she accepted him for that. Or with that, or despite that, or however you want to look at it. It's about trusting your intuition, your instincts, your heart, your gut, and seeing what it tells you. Finances, more specifically than work. Again, it's about being thankful for what you already have. So it goes back to the fours of cups, the 2 fours of cups that you got, and counting your blessings. Very, very important. Can you see these, or do I need to move some things better into frame? Okay. And that brings us to love and relationship. The 7 of Pentacles. So all these things are about like being patient, and it's coming, and being methodical and planning. This is actually your energy, your element. So for those of you who are single, who have your eye on somebody in particular, the not so great news is that they could be like doing just fine, like without you, like they may already be in some sort of good situation, things going well for them. That can also be a positive, right? Like the person you have your heart set on is having a good life, and so that may be a great time to step in. It depends. It can go either way with that one. If you're in a committed relationship, if you're not in a committed relationship, rather, then, you do need to be, this is taking you back to your 2 fours of cups. You do need to be open, perhaps, to other possibilities. Because again, maybe their life is good without you, at least right now. And still, keep in mind, what's meant to be yours will be yours. So that includes relationships, even with particular people. So maybe not now is not the time, but some other time will be. Right? There's always recovery. There's always help is on the way. Again, there's not only one person that we can live our life with, or that we can find, genuine connections with or deep love with. That's how, sadly, some people, they lose their partner, right? Their partner is deceased, they're widowed, or, they're widow or widower. And they're still able to, remarry sometimes, or at least find somebody else to spend the rest of their days with in some sort of partnership. We don't There isn't just one person. So be open to, again, other possibilities, going back to your 2 4s of cups. Other people that you may have a deep, soulful connection with, and again, a happy and positive relationship, because we just went over the fact that you deserve one, right? And you're beginning to realize that you deserve one. It's important to not give into feelings of fear and despair and, oh, this is my one shot at love and it's not going to happen. And I feel like, again, I've been talking for a long time. One of these readings went to 40 minutes. And that seems to happen to me every time I do the bi-weeklies. At least one sign goes to 40 minutes. But the other ones I'm usually able to course correct and, make them 20 minutes, but not this time. Maybe because I started with that, prelude with that coronavirus pep talk at the beginning. But I think I probably should just do the advice like I did with the other signs rather than all right, so you get these because you just saw me pull these. I was going to say I can at least cut the cards in front of you, or, shuffle them up some more in front of you like I did for the other signs. So let's do that. So I will try to remember where the 2 piles are. As a matter of fact, let me pick them up. These are the cards I had already pulled for you. So the universe may be intent on you having these. So I'm going to set them aside. And the others, here we are. We've cut them up into a bunch of piles. Mix them up. Fresh energy. And what do we got? How cool is that? That brings us to your energy precisely. As a matter of fact, the Page of Earth or Pentacles for me is a Virgo. That's not traditional tarot practice necessarily. I think you'd be the Knight in traditional tarot practice, but you're the Page for me because you're a mutable sign like me, In fact, we share a ruler. We're both ruled by Mercury. But the Pages are the more, youthful and often, forever young types. And so are the mutable signs. So this is totally you guys, Virgo. The Page of Earth is scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Isn't that what we've been talking about all the time? That you guys patient and successful. So that's going to really get you through this period. Good news about financial matters. Wanting to do something more challenging and maybe even a new area of study. Oh, here's some more cards that I hadn't. Where should I put these? Let's just show them to you what they are because I didn't pick them up. So it's the 7 of Winter, which is, I call my card of, I say that it represents an energy of joy stealing. And what's important to remember, especially based on your other cards, is that we have the potential to, again, steal our own joy. With our negative thoughts, with our lack of faith, with our lack of confidence, with our lack of esteem in ourselves, we can steal our own joy because we fail to go after opportunities that are made available to us. So definitely, again, be very, very careful about that. 7 of Swords can also be about somebody trying to re-enter your life, and it's going to be important for you to decide whether or not you're interested in that. It can be about things that were lost or even stolen from you, or that somebody's attempting to take from you. So again, maybe it's connected to the 5 of Wands and that competition and somebody trying to take your opportunity. So be mindful of all of this kind of stuff. Also, in this time where we're dealing with some people can be worried about loss or the taking of, their home and, because their livelihood. And again, be confident that, and positive in your thought that that's not going to happen either. The cards don't indicate that kind of downfall for you. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. The card is the 9 of Fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. The Nine of Fire or Wands is a card about perseverance. It's saying don't give up, keep moving, keep pushing. Like I said in the beginning, don't let this, what's going on, like stop you from your growth. Don't let it stop you from your manifestation. Whatever you've been focused on, whatever you've been working on, keep at it, you know, to the best of your ability, the fullest extent of your ability. And, you know, trust, again, have faith in yourself and in source, God, the universe, that it will come to pass. That's how you manifest. And your last card is the Four of Air or Swords. And this is interesting. I'll tell you why in a second. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. So the Four of Swords can be about the fact that some of us have been forced into a rest. Some of us may have a decision to make. We also saw the Knight of Swords, which I said is about decisions and right, taking some sort of action. This guy can be about planning a vacation, like the Six of Swords, rather, more so actually going on vacation potentially for me. And this one is the planning stage. But in relationships, and in terms of work or whatever, it can be like needing a break from it. Maybe you've been deemed an essential worker and you just, working really, really hard right now and you need a break too. Like when this is all over, I hope you guys get weeks and weeks of vacation, paid vacation, and the rest of us do the work and stuff like that. But the reason I said it was particularly interesting is because these cards, I've used them 1,000 times since the weekend, and these cards, all three of these cards came up in, it was either my general reading or my love reading, and I think it was the general reading. And as a matter of fact, I clarified the Four of Swords with the Nine of Wands. Is the love reading. Because I talked about actually how the two of these, each card could mean that you're wanting like a break from your partner. You need space. And it doesn't mean necessarily for a long time. It could be in a moment. Like I need space. I need to think by myself. Maybe we've been in too close contact because of, isolation or quarantine or whatever it's called. Or you just need like a mental break. Again, it can be a moment. It can be for a while. And for some of us, maybe it is about literal forced space between us and our partner because we're each, separately in quarantine or something. But again, the message is that it's temporary. So we'll just put these, I won't put them on top of your overall energy. We'll put them back here. And now here is, no, I don't want to put them there because, because I'm going to pull your advice cards from there. All right, so here's the advice cards from this shuffled cards. Okay. And here's your original advice cards. Hopefully I didn't mix up the masculine and feminine. I don't think I did, but then again, I guess if I did, that's how the universe would have it. Masculine, your first bit of advice. The Queen of Spring. This is all about you being confident, holding your head up real high, having esteem. She is the Queen of Wands. She is talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once. You may have a full plate right now. A lot of stuff going on, but you can do it. You can still handle it. Queen of Spring or Wands, if she is an actual person in your life, maybe it's you still, right? Maybe you are a Leo Virgo, for example, a Cuspian. Or this person, could be, if it's a separate person, perhaps a direct fire sign, a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Feminine. The Nine of Water, Nine of Cups. Your wish comes true. Concerns fade away and you have a love of life. This is about successful manifestation, right? It's a big yes from the minor arcana for you. Particularly as it relates to love, in terms of yes or no questions with regard to love, yes. Like, does he feel the same? Yes. Does she feel, or does she feel the same? Whatever you're into. No judgment from me. Masculine, your next card. The cards coming through for me are what? This is Major Arcana card 1, the Magician, which is all about what? Manifestation, successful manifestation, and your ability to be successful at it, to do it. Also represents our ruler, the planet Mercury. but more specifically the sign of Gemini than Virgo. There is magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful, as I've told you several times already during this reading. Feminine, the Seven of Spring or Wands. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. So this is also something we've been saying throughout the reading. And particularly where I started talking about like what friends and family might think or societal norms. This is about you standing your ground once you've made a decision for you, once you've made a choice for you, and only changing your mind if you decide that's what you want to do, not because other people say you should. And walking away from problems or debates or conflict whenever you feel like it too. Like, we're not going to fight every fight or every argument that somebody tries to bring us. That's, going to be in your purview. You decide which ones to fight and which ones not to as well. Masculine. Very nice. The Page of Water. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase and you have heightened psychic abilities. The Page of Water or Cups is, if they are a direct water sign and an actual person in your life, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. This is about good news. It can be love, and it can be about you, connecting with somebody new or reconnecting with somebody. Like I talked about the Seven of Swords, somebody coming back into your life, and that makes you emotionally happy. It's good news for you. But this can also be like good news in another area of your life. Like, hearing like you got the job or something like that. Something that puts a smile on your face. A text, a phone call. Something that makes you happy. Feminine, for you too. This can be about somebody, again, coming back into your life, or you getting together with people from your past or something. Reuniting with someone or a few someones. Can also be about some sort of celebration. So again, something good happens in your life. You get some sort of good news, a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. Some of us may be, being social in some sort of way, even if it's online or whatever, or while maintaining the required amount of distance or the required, number of people that we're allowed to hang out with, depending upon where you live or whatever's going on right now. It can also be about some people like moving forward with their wedding plans. Like I said, this is a big yes from the major arcana. It could be yes in terms of yes, I'll marry you. And people could be moving on with those wedding plans despite what's happening. Masculine, your last card. Boom. All right. I have nothing to say. Say no more. You got two magicians, masculine, and you saw me shuffle these dang cards, right? I'm so glad that I did stop to do that. Again, the magician represents the planet Mercury and the sign of Gemini most directly, but you are a mutable sign too, and you got some abilities that the ability to take on the traits of all the other signs also. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them, and life is magical. And lastly, feminine. Very nice. We end on Major Arcana card 0, the Dreamer, which is the Fool in the traditional tarot. And in this deck in particular, the Dreamer for me, or this card, has always felt like Mercury. Again, your ruler, my ruler. Your ruler as a Virgo. So, and the card for me has always represented our signs, Virgo and Gemini. A leap of faith, follow your dreams. That leads to unexpected opportunities. So this is about you walking a brand new path you never walked before, because you're taking on one of those opportunities and you're not stealing your own joy. You're taking a risk, going for it. You're having confidence in yourself, and you're going to make something happen. I believe in you. Believe in you. You got to believe in you too. Hope you guys have enjoyed your bi-weekly reading. I will be back on the 15th or the 16th of the month, God willing, as they say. Namaste.